Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. It's Sunday Comics. It's Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means it's Sunday Comics. I know last week I threw everybody for a loop by doing it at a different time, but I had to work during the day. I'm back at the evening shift, although there is no work today because of the holiday, Thanksgiving, for those of you watching in the future. So tomorrow everything goes back to semi-normal, back to my 3 to 11 shift tomorrow. The only good thing about that shift is I just get to wake up on my own. I hate waking up to alarms. Always have hated waking up to alarms. Jeez, I can't even talk. So let's get the order of business out of the way. Heroic Tales 2 is currently in fulfillment. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go back to packing up boxes, send everything out. It's going slow and steady. He's going to win this race, I hope. I'm getting antsy to be done with this because it's taken over my whole basement. I want to clean it and get everything back to organized, but the audio's cutting out. Is the audio fine? Let me know, everybody. Pete's saying the audio's cutting out. Let me know what everybody else says. I dropped the mic stand, so maybe things are damaged. I hope not. But anyway, Pete, you got your comic. What did you think? Any comments, Pete? Let's see who else is here. Dan, how you doing, Dan? Dan's Comic Corner. Good. Welcome to the show. I don't recognize the name. It's always good to see new names. We got Ben, voice actor. How you doing, Ben? Yours is out. Yours is in the mail. Let me know if you got it. I recognize some names. I recognize. Hey, K.O. Joe. Greetings from Raleigh, North Carolina. How's everything? Hey, Marcus. How's everything? How's everything, Marcus? How's the art coming along? How was the studio last night? Did you have a guest? Did you hit your goal? Hey, happy Sunday, John's Long Box. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Everybody saying hello to everybody. The audio is cutting out. Let me know. Anybody else have any audio problems? All I can do is check the mic. Everything looks fine. Everything looks like it's working. I don't know what else to say, what else to do. So let's talk about some in-house news. Heroic Tales 2 is currently in fulfillment. Renzo is chugging along on Patriarch number 1. That will be my next campaign. The script is 45 pages. And then I want to put a letters page, so that'll be 46. I want to put an ad, so that'll be 47. An ad for like my stuff, in-house stuff, other comics. And then I want to put an article by Regina Lopez. So that'll be 48. So it's probably going to be 48 pages as of right now. I'm tinkering with the idea of making a map of Science City, but we'll see how that goes. I got 3 of the 7 stretch goal cards made already. Well, one's complete. 2 the line, not the backs aren't made, but 2 of them. So whatever. I got the other characters to make. We'll see how that goes. And so things are going ahead. I'm probably going to wait until the comic's complete before I even do the campaign. And then we'll go right to work on Heroic Tales number 3. And then when Renzo's done with Heroic Tales number 3, he'll start drawing the Santa Claus story that I want to do. And then I'm hoping that everybody else that I'm working with will be able to finish their story, or whatever order those are done will be Heroic Tales 4 and 5. So that's my schedule for comics. I got Eddie is Doomed. Oscar is chugging away on that. Tonic Wall is finishing up his stuff, and then we'll work on that. I got a project that I need to hash out with Matt Barr. I got 2 secret projects in the works, and that seems to be all the news that's worth talking about right now. So let's check out. Oh, we got some new subs. Good for you. Awesome. Hope you're having a blessed Sunday. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I woke up, I ate a burrito, drank some coffee, talk about comic books. What else? What else? What else do you want? You guys sick of your Thanksgiving leftovers yet? Yesterday, I made a huge plate of Thanksgiving leftovers, ate it all. I think there's a little tiny bit of turkey left. Yeah, it's just my wife and I, so we don't make like a big turkey. We get like I don't know what she calls it, but we get like a small turkey. Oh, it's so good. I want to finish with that, but we still got vegetables and gravy and mashed potatoes and stuffing, so I will be eating all of that today. I love it. I love Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, Sunday comics at the old time. Yeah, this is the normal time. Although last week I had a lot of viewers. I did it after work last week. I kind of like waking up and doing this. I don't want to wait all day to do it, so there we go. Yeah, love the fixins. Yep, Nail Bunny. Oh, cool. I like that avatar. Yeah, me too. That anybody, I realized this year that my least favorite part of all the Thanksgiving is mashed potatoes. To me, the mashed potatoes are just like filling. It's like the spackle. It's just like food paste, whereas everything else is just delicious. That's my, that's and I realized that my favorite is the gravy, the gravy, and then the gravy stuffing, the turkey with gravy, everything, green beans, corn, the carrots, and then my chocolate pudding pie for dessert. Haven't watched the latest theology stream yet. Had to go. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun to talk with Cooper. Towards the end, we kind of strayed into Harry Potter and everything. That's always fun. And then we talked a little bit offline about the next. I think the next theology is gonna throw everybody for a loop. I'll talk to Cooper when he wants to do it. We got yep, there you go. All of the emojis. All aboard the gravy train. Yep. So let's start talking about this X-Men comic book. Look at this. Look at this great cover. So this cover is by John Byrne and then inked by Bob Layton. It's this is just Marvel chugging on all cylinders over here. Bob Layton went on to fame for his Iron Man art, and what I like about Bob Layton is it's just so crisp. It definitely is a Marvel style. There's no doubt about it. Looking at all of the Marvel I didn't realize at the time, but there was some like a Marvel style, and it just worked. To me, it ended up cementing what comic books should look like. And this cover was the first. I think this was the first X-Men comic I've ever seen. I didn't own it, but it was the first X-Men comic I've ever seen because I remember this. I remember the Cyclops and Colossus punching, and it was a kid across the street from me. His name was Danny and Andrew, and they had this comic. They also had Inhumans. I forget what issue of the Inhumans, but it had the Captroid, and this big gigantic robot was like shoveling bones into his stuff. And I just remember looking at those two comics like, what is this? Like, I knew Superman, Batman, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, but the Inhumans and X-Men, what were these things? And I just remember thinking it was so bizarre. And they were weird. Like, I wanted to just sit and read those comics, and they were like, no. Like, little kids can be weird. So I kind of filed it away. And then the next issue, 114, was the first X-Men comic I ever bought. And I got it at, I'll talk about that next week, I guess. But look at this glorious cover. We still got Dave Cockrum doing the corner box over here. This is 1978. I love this lava, creeping lava with the Kirby crackle in it. It almost looks like an amoeba coming in to kill them. We got all the teammates over there. The greatest costume designs. Just look at all these costumes. This is just firing on all cylinders. Comic books right here. Look at that. Magneto in his purple cape. Just so good. Let's open up. Oh, okay. From this point forward, check the comments. Look at the comic. Standard Sunday comics thing. You need my son's mashed potato recipe. Okay. I like mashed potatoes. Don't get me wrong. But I like, out of all of the fixins, they're my least favorite. Which my wife's upstairs seething because she loves her mashed potatoes. KO Joe's, I don't know. He's shocked by something? What are you shocked by? Hey, Gordon Good brother, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. How's everything? Good to see you. Iconic for 1978 artwork. Yeah, it just, to me, this is it. I know everybody likes Mark Silvestri and Todd McFarlane and all those guys, but this is the best. This is the top. This is the way it goes. Oh, Marcus with the factoid. Byrne didn't draw his corner box until he drew as many issues as Cockrum. I wonder if that was like an editorial decree or if that was a respect thing, or but it makes sense. Once it became his comic, I guess he'd do the corner box. That makes sense. So look at that. We got the Bad News Bears go to Japan. Man, the Bad News Bears was dominating in the movie theater around this point, And they were good. They were funny. They were, man, shocking, I guess, by today's standard, the way those kids talked. So we got the credits over here. Chris Claremont and John Byrne, Raconteurs. So notice this. This is the first time I'm noticing it. Maybe I didn't notice it last couple of issues, but Chris Claremont and John Byrne, Raconteurs. This is letting us know John Byrne now is a co-plotting. He oh, you can't see the credits. I'm looking at the comic. I'm not showing you. So let's move this up here. So you see this? Chris Claremont, John Byrne, Raconteurs. So this is letting us know that John Byrne is part of the story-making process right over here. He's not just the artist. Then we got Terry Austin, embellisher. Whenever they say embellisher, that means he's doing a little bit more than just inking. So John Byrne is probably doing a little bit of rough pencils. And this is the first monthly issue, so maybe he needed a little help to get on schedule. John Byrne at this time was doing I think he was doing Iron Fist and Marvel Team Up and X-Men, so he probably needed a little help. Kwalecki letterer, Glynis Wynn colorist, who's the wife of Len Wynn, Roger Stern editor, and Jim Shooter editor-in-chief. It's like just a who's who of just top talent over at Marvel. So look at this. All right, we got the Magneto. Pet peeve, I wouldn't have colored the energy like that. It's magnetics. In my mind, certain energies have colors, and magnetics isn't that color. That's the color of like fire and heat, and whatever. I know. It's nuts. I don't know why, but magnetic powers are white. In my mind, I don't know why. So, what do we got here? This is a splash page. For those of you who are new, splash page is a comic page with only one panel. It's oh, don't mean to get everybody dizzy, but I'm trying to get the whole page in there. Usually it's the first page, but it's not always. So we got one panel over here. We got the carnival going on over here. And so what do we got? We got a newscast. So this news guy is telling us about Magneto. And that is just a wonderful way of bringing the new readers up to speed and making it part of the story. So we're learning about Magneto's first interaction with the X-Men when he threatened the military base, in X-Men #1. And then you could see that the corner panels are rounded, indicating a break in time, which is kind of confusing considering it's the beginning of the comic. But if you read all of these these are called caption boxes. These are called dialogue boxes. And you see how this dialogue box is all wonky shaped, all jagged. That indicates an increase in volume. Wow, I'm getting real basic with comic book stuff. So Magneto is trashing the military base. That was Magneto's first encounter. And what's going on? It's been 6 hours since Magneto struck this carnival. Everything's on fire. This is John McCheever, BBC News, Woomera, Australia. It's been 6 hours since Magneto struck, and as many fires here are still raging out of control. Why Australia? Unfortunately, those groups, the Fantastic Four, the Champions, the Fantastic Four and the Champions have disbanded. The Avengers are under virtual house arrest by order of the American government, and the X-Men who defeated Magneto when he attacked Cape Canaveral seem to have vanished off the face of the earth. This is what's going on with all the super teams. So, okay, so in the Avengers, George Perez is doing artwork of the Avengers, and Henry Gyrich basically took over the Avengers and is reorganizing the team. So the Champions broke up. Fantastic Four are one of those Fantastic Four no more stories. But here's the most telling thing. This is a small town in Australia, and they're talking about the X-Men. So the X-Men are world famous. And then later on they play up like the X-Men are secret. Like it's a little confusing. Are the X-Men a secret team of mutants, or are they a world famous superhero team? So at the world at large, they know the X-Men, so you got to keep that kind of stuff consistent. And that was DC did it with Batman. Every once in a while, we're supposed to pretend that Batman's just an urban myth. And then we find out that he's like a major player on the Justice League. You can't play it both ways. And that's what's going on with the X-Men. Are they a secret team of shunned outcasts that everybody is afraid of? Or are they a world-recognized superhero team? They're with the uncertainty principles. They're in a quantum state. Both or nothing. So now we cut to in the Cyclops or Cyclops, however you pronounce it. I just know that in Greek, the C is pronounced as a K, like you're supposed to say like Cyclops instead of a Cyclops, but we're English speakers. So the Cyclades Islands in southern Greece. Beautiful, idyllic. We got Leandra walking around. She's got this egg-shaped bonnet. Now she's wearing this bonnet because she has feathers for hair. The way it's drawn, sometimes it's hard to tell, but the Shi'ar evolved from birds. The Tamaranians evolved from lions, and we evolved from apes. So they have feathers for hair. So she's wearing this bonnet to, I guess, make it so that she passes as human, but she's wearing the most alien-looking bonnet possible. So it defeats the purpose, if you ask me. So what's going on? I'm beginning to enjoy the temporary exile. So Leandra, if you remember correctly, has been exiled from the Shi'ar Empire for overthrowing the Mad Emperor D'Ken. Now, her older brother D'Ken is the lawful, rightful emperor of the empire, but he's a nutjob who tried to destroy the universe. She recognized that he was a nutjob who tried to destroy the universe and tried to overthrow him. Now, the Imperial Guard and the bureaucracy recognize that Leandra saved the universe and did the right thing, but Shi'ar law declares that she's a traitor and must be executed. So they are having, for lack of a better term, a constitutional crisis. They know she's right, but what she did was unprecedented and wrong. So by law, she must be executed, But everybody knows she did the right thing. So what do? And there's factions within the Empire that says, doesn't matter. There's no precedent for this. She must die. There's other people like, yeah, but she saved all our lives. So they basically said, get out of here until we figure out what's going on. So that's what she's doing. So she's getting while the getting's good, hanging out with Charles Xavier in southern Greece. Not a bad place to be exiled, if you ask me. Pete, is the mic good? Nobody else seems to be complaining. So Charles is, what's wrong? It's the X-Men. I've lost telepathic rapport with them. There could be a logical explanation, or they could be a deadly danger. If only I knew. So this was reporter bringing us up to speed. This is a little interlude, setting up the tension. And now we cut to, where are the X-Men? I just love this page. We got this beautiful, warm Mediterranean climate. And then the last page, it's just cold, because the answer, where are the X-Men? They're half a world away beneath the frozen wasteland of what the men call Antarctica. Dun, dun, dun. And this is how you do comics. This is setting up a tension. Literally, they're using the page flip as part of the tension and storytelling. You got to take a little bit of time. There's a natural break. Set up a little bit of tension. I bet you there's an ad next. I don't know. I don't remember. Let's see. But let's check out the comments. So this is the revenge of the prison-pampered X-Men. Yes. For those of you who remember last week, Magneto captured all the X-Men. He handily defeated them, even though Jean Grey was whomping on him for reasons of plot. All of a sudden, she wasn't whomping on him. And now they're all trapped. And for the rest of their lives, they are going to be taken care of by a nanny. So he's trying to just humiliate them. He's just trying to humiliate them in treating them like children for the rest of their natural lives. Like they literally can't move. So whenever they poop, the robot's going to wipe their heinies. Whenever they're hungry, the robot's going to feed them, and just, because not the X-Men turned Magneto into a baby. So he's humiliated. So he's going to take it out on the wrong people. But then again, this is Madman Magneto. This isn't, civil rights activist Magneto that he evolved into later. This is just a guy who dresses up like the devil and causes havoc. It was Byrne's idea to wait until he had as many issues as Dave Cockrum. Respect. Makes sense artistically for magnetic fields to be white, similar to electricity, which is a light yellow usually. Yeah, to me, electricity is light yellow. Magneto, it makes no sense. Yeah, Leandra's bonnet. It's just goofy looking, isn't it? I mean, look at that. It's like she's wearing an egg on her head. News covering a mostly peaceful magnetic. Yeah, it's mostly peaceful. Mutants Live Matter. Gaspar Saladino lettered the splash page as he often did at the time. Yeah, little bit of trivia is Gaspar's son is one of my partners at work. Just a cool guy. Just a real cool guy. I could go on and on and on about how interesting he is. I never met Gaspar, but I worked with the son, Tony. Why Australia do cause? It's the land down under, where women glow and men chunder. I see what you did there, Zach Tam. What did he do? Oh, okay. Maybe the world knows about a team called the X-Men, but they don't know who is on the team. I don't know. It's just one of those inconsistencies. I had a few professors I wished would get whisked away by an alien princess. There we go. Huh? Everybody's laughing. What men call Antarctica, what do women call it? That's a good question. No one knows. Women are a mystery. All right, let's go to the next page. Told you, Ed. Building up the tension. Perfect use of an ad over here. The Adventures of Grit Boy. Everybody loved Icy. I don't know. This ad just took me back for a second. So now we got. Let's get this over here. It's just past dawn on the surface, the beginning of a new day. For the X-Men, though, it's the beginning of the latest chapter of a never-ending nightmare. Good morning, children. And how are we feeling today? So now the X-Men are all trapped and this creepy robot in the French outfit, is just going to take care of all their needs. So we got a naughty Wolverine. If you keep spitting your food, you're going to make Nanny very cross with you. Oh, don't cry, Poppet. Nanny didn't mean it. Nanny loves you. Bath and massage for you today, Cyclops. God, that voice. It's like marshmallows soaked in honey. There must be a way out of this. So, he's tortured, like literally killing them with kindness. And I got to say, isn't this the Democrat progressive ideal? Just sit, have Nanny come and take care of you. You don't have to worry. Everybody's treated equally. Everybody's no wants, no worries. It's torture. It's torture. Oh, Beast, you've such marvelous silky fur. You're a joy to brush. I have an idea. Would you like bows in your hair? I'll see if I can find some. So she's just humiliating them, infantilizing them. Like we do to minorities and women, over there on the left. You must be off, children. I'll be back at lunchtime, and this afternoon before your naps, I'll read you a nice story. I think I'll scream. Lunchtime, 3 hours, then maybe 4. So right away, Storm is planning. And I got to say, out of all the X-Men, Storm has had the least amount of shine. She hasn't got to do that much cool stuff as of yet. So I got to move this camera over here. Sorry about driving everybody crazy. For some reason, my camera doesn't want to cooperate today. So this is the first time in a long time Storm is doing something pretty cool. Storm is doing something pretty cool. I like it because it's something that we haven't seen yet, but it kind of fits in with the lore, and it's a nice bit of character development all in one. It's pretty clever. I like this. I've taken my days to build my control, plus observe Nanny's routine, but now I think I'm ready. So just think about this. The X-Men have been away for weeks in Mesmero's circus or carnival, and now it's been, I'll say, at least a week. So the X-Men have been away from home. They've been captives by 2 different supervillains for a pretty decent amount of time. That's got to be just rough, So the X-Men, nobody knows where they are. Xavier has been away with Leandra over, his alien princess, if anybody gets that reference, his alien princess over in the Greek islands. You know what I mean? So it's like the X-Men, for all intents and purposes, have been missing. They're gone. Nobody knows where they are. That's why Beast had to go look for them. So now Storm, these shoulder pads and neck things, they're supposed to make it so that they can't move. They have their brains seem to be fine, but their muscular control is bad. So Storm has been concentrating. And what is she doing? She's going like this. She's flicking her head back and forth, and Wolverine is like, what is she doing? Nightcrawler is like, what is going on? Because they don't seem to be able to speak. They don't have the muscularity. They're like stroke victims. That's what these machines are doing. So they just see Storm freaking out. And what is she doing? She's kicking her headdress off. Not kicking, flicking back and forth till her headdress pops off. Goddess, be praised, it's fallen almost exactly where I want it. Where are my lock picks? I have to totally relax my body without letting my control slip even a little. Got it. So now we find out that she's got lock picks in her headdress. Nice. And it's not the first time. This is the first time we see it, but she'll do it again and again and again. It's just great use of, they built up that she was a thief in Cairo, and now she has lockpicks. Perfect. So got it. Now for my shackles. I love this. I love this page. I love everything about this page. The use, like, we don't need to see the background. We see the figure. A lot of, the dialogue is kind of sparse. Just everything about it. Perfect storytelling. We could practically see the movement of Storm. What's the word? Rocking her head back and forth. She's doing more than rock. Rocking is almost gentle. She's like, head banging. I just love Wolverine's face over here. What's going on? Just great storytelling. Just great storytelling in every possible sense of the word. Look at these high-tech looking lockpicks. Just so cool. Let's check out the comments. Yeah, this is Primo Storm. Yeah, we're finally getting to see Storm do something cool. I'm trying to remember, like, yeah, she throws lightning bolts, stuff like that, but she hasn't really done anything that great yet. I'm pretty sure Xavier didn't approve of the lockpicks in the headdress. I'm sure he did. Yes, this is the futuristic communist utopia. This is what we're progressing towards. Literally, we're progressing towards what the X-Men are trying to escape for. Just in case I need to jam, yeah. Maja Ritzis. I don't get that, but is she dying? She's flicking her head back. She's headbanging. Yep, she's using her tongue. Magical hairpin lockpick. If you look close, they're totally not hairpins. Never leave home without them. Yeah. You can see that they're some sort of highfalutin jeweler's tools. Did she grow up in Cairo, then to Central? Yeah. Yes. So her parent, from what I know, her parents were from Harlem, because if you're black, you're from Harlem. And from Harlem, then they went to Cairo either on vacation or what, I don't remember why. And that's where she was orphaned in an earthquake or something like that. And then she grew up in Cairo, and then I guess something happened that made her go to Kenya. Because it's Africa. It's not a gigantic continent with 52 countries. If you're in Africa, you're in all parts of Africa. It's comic book logic. Like, if you're a doctor, you're every doctor. If you're African, you're from all parts of Africa. It's a neat skill apart from her powers. Yes, it is so cool. It really does add to her character. Handcrafted, maybe it's handcrafted. Yeah. If you ain't from Harlem, you ain't black. Yes, absolutely. If you ain't from Harlem, you're a dog-faced pony soldier. So let's check out. Yep, I knew it. An ad. This, I don't even like looking at this ad. It just bothers me. Let's go to the next page. Okay, so let me move my coffee. Now I got it in my hand. Let's take a sip. So complicated. I've never seen a design like this before, and I'm so out of practice. Must remember Ahmed's trading and take one step at a time. So now we're cutting back a little moment to focus on her backstory. Excellent use of characterization, storytelling. Like I said, I've been pretty critical of the actual story, the actual plots. That is the weakest part of this run so far. Now it's going to kick into high gear. But Chris Claremont's ideas are just like, here's a story, bing, here's a story, bing, like really no reason for it, with the flimsiest of excuses to get to the next story. But the art, the characterization, the plot, not the plot, the dialogue, the storytelling, everything is so good that you almost don't notice how flimsy these stories actually are. It's kind of like a Nolan film. But this is where it's really, really picking up. This is just what propels it into the stratosphere. So now we got freaky looking baby Storm. This is just one of the weaknesses of comic book artists, is they can't draw children. So here's Ahmed, the stereotypical, Arabic thief. He looks like right out of Arabian Nights, teaching her how to steal and raise money. Something's happening. I can taste it. So Cyclops is the only one who can't see. Everybody else can see perfectly well, but Cyclops' powers are in his eyeballs. He's like, moo! He's trying to talk. So you get poor Scott. He sounds like he's in agony. Use too much pressure. Tumblers are incredibly delicate. Can't force them. And they're set in a sequence. The slightest mistake, and I'll have to go back to square one. So now we cut back. So she's using her mouth to pick these locks. She's concentrating, and now she's learning how to break into safes using her feet. Under ideal conditions, this lock would be a challenge, but this is rough. So now Ahmed is teaching her. So now you're bound, and this door will be locked and bolted when I leave. I cannot help you, child, and I can no longer protect you. If you're still here when I return, you are not the pupil I thought you were, and you will deserve your fate. So this is like her ultimate test. So Ahmed ties her up, throws her in a door, and says, I'll come back and check up on you. If you're not here, you're a good student. If you're here, then whatever. So almost finished. Oh, no. So she drops the pin. Is anything the matter, children? I thought I heard you cry out. Nanny must keep her attention on me. Pray she doesn't notice the lockpicks. I was so close. Storm, you've knocked your headdress off. Poor thing. No wonder you're upset. Don't cry, Poppet. Nanny will put things right. There you are. I'll find some pins and we'll see that it doesn't happen again. I'll put it on securely. Until then, why don't you have a nice nap? And Storm's face is as Nanny rolls away. But the fierce Storm cracks and cries. So look at that. I don't think a scene like this would ever be in a comic book. Now, Storm actually breaks down and starts crying. She's so frustrated. She's so desperate to get out. This is just torture. Remember, Storm's weakness is claustrophobia. You tell me this isn't claustrophobic? She can't move. Yes, this seems to be a big room, but she can't move. She's trapped in her own body right now. This is just great. And big, tough, strong Storm. They set it up. She's doing a lockpick. Like, that's how they get out. That's not how they get out. It's just so good. Then we cut to time passes 1,000 miles out in space. A small roving asteroid swinging past the Earth in a wildly eccentric orbit. Its existence kept hidden from ground-based radar and satellite sensors by an array of sophisticated electronics hardware far superior than anything used by Russians or NASA. So now we got Asteroid M. So this is full-on supervillain. He's got a hidden base literally underneath a volcano, and now he's got a floating asteroid base. This is awesome. This is awesome superhero, supervillain, madman lair. Look, because when you're Magneto, what good is one lair when you can have two? You have an underground lava base, and now you got magnetic. You got Asteroid M in space base. Excellent. Magneto is a prime mega villain. Let's check the comments. The family's apartment was destroyed by a crashing Arab jet, probably retconned. Oh, really? Is that what happened? I thought it was an earthquake, but are there earthquakes in Egypt? I don't know. Seems like Claremont was throwing out ideas before he got thrown out. Yeah, well, he's in the driver's seat for like the next decade, well over a decade. Like, didn't he write the X-Men for like 20 years? Like, he knew Uncanny X-Men was his shot. Ahmed's almost a war criminal. A character being vulnerable in our comic. Not only that, a woman being vulnerable, and not only that, a black woman. Because we know that black women are the most educated women in America, and they don't need no man. So Magneto is also a super genius. Yes, Magneto is a super genius. what he's got to be in like the top 10 smartest people on the planet. Either that or he's forcing other people to work. But, you know, he's super genius. Twin layers. Yes. Yes. He's got 2 layers. Let's check out the next page. And we got more ads. Price guide, Doctor Strange. Here's the new Daisy 840. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Look at that. Oh, this isn't even a BB gun. This is a pellet gun. Nice. Step up from a BB gun. BB gun is your introductory. This is a pellet gun. This is actual killing. So here we go. So this rock measures roughly a cubic mile, and though it's not listed on any chart, it has a name, Asteroid M. It's Magneto's home. There's some sort of minor system malfunction in my Antarctica complex, which implies that he has other complexes. Odd. I wonder why Nanny hasn't resolved. So he made this whole complex as a prison for the X-Men. He's not even there. He's not even watching. That's how indifferent he is. It could be nothing, but it's best not to take any chances. That base is still vital to me, and much of our data in its computer banks is irreplaceable. I love the way he's just talking to nobody. That's a sign of a megalomaniac, mad genius, just talking to himself. In the past, my powers were diluted by my defeats, but I no longer had even the strength to return to my asteroid base, let alone build it up. In his destruction in X-Men number 5. So wow, he had this Antarctic base or asteroid base in X-Men 5. Thanks to Eric the Red, that has changed. I am strong beyond belief. My power untainted by my time on wasted battles. Once I've finished work on my asteroid, I'll have an impregnable fortress from which I'll teach all of mankind that Magneto is truly the master of the world. I don't hear anything about mutant rights, mutant supremacy, homo superior. I just hear a megalomaniac who wants to take over the world. This is critical time. So, CC, it goes from word balloons to thought balloons. This is critical time, though. My resources are split between my asteroid and my terrestrial bases. So he has more than one base. Ironic, isn't it? The moment accumulation of months of work at hand should also be when I'm most vulnerable to attack. The sudden malfunction could have been caused by the X-Men. Impossible. There are scores of alarm complexes all set to go off if those cursed mutants broke free. So, where's all this mutants' rights? Where's all of this civil rights? Where's all of this progressive identity politics? It's not here. It's not here. Really, I know this is controversial, but it doesn't become a big part of X-Men until God kills. Man, Man Kills, God Saves, the graphic novel. That was like the watershed moment of the X-Men when it just became unbearable. That was that was a good story. And they should have left it alone. There's 2 points in the X-Men that just changed the X-Men as far as I'm concerned. Well, 3, I guess, turning into the new X-Men. The God Loves, Man Kills graphic novel. It just X-Men were always political. Then they point to that, And then the next one is Days of Future Past. And all 3 of these are brilliant in itself, but then they just become harping on them. But has there ever been a comic book more revisited than Days of Future Past? It's like, come on. But anyway, so here's Magneto. So Magneto used his power to protect himself, to fly through space. How fast is he zooming? He's coming to Antarctica. He's using his power to push the lava, push the heat. Comes into the base. And Nanny, what's wrong? Nanny, I thought I built you better than that. You're going around circles. No light. No lights, now a damaged robot. This X-Men are more resourceful than I give them credit for. I'll act as if nothing is amiss. Let them make the first move before I smash them down. Hit X-Men now. So we see the it's not a laser. Cyclops doesn't shoot lasers. He shoots concussive blasts. So boom, he gets hit by Cyclops, and then this is Banshees. I love when the energy has their own look and style. How is this possible? How did they get out? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. Internal dialogue. Oh, where are we? Gordon Goodbrother. The stories coming out now portray Claremont as constantly at odds with Shooter. No reason he couldn't have been fired. I don't know. Maybe Marcus could tell us. But everybody was constantly at odds with Jim Shooter. You know, I don't think it was particularly Chris Claremont. Everybody was at odds with Jim Shooter because Jim Shooter was the boss, and Marvel needed fixing. So, but the thing is, Shooter was right. Look at all of these comics that came out under Jim Shooter. You know, it wasn't until Secret Wars 2 that Jim Shooter started misfiring in the early days. Internal monologue. So the mutant seed didn't make Magneto crazy. No, he was a megalomaniac at this point, you know. He would have tried it anyway. Claremont's last issue was 279. 279. Progressive identity politics. Not yet. Absolutely. It's Claremont who added that stuff. Yeah. Later on, it became like part and parcel of the X-Men, and it just... But progressives didn't have to leech into it this hard. True. Absolutely true. So, boom. I love this. So we got a lightning bolt. We got Cyclops' blast. We got Banshee's blast. And we got Phoenix's power over here. Everybody just hitting Magneto. And if we didn't have the internal dialogue where he was like, I know they're going to attack me. Let's see what happens. That would have been the end. But he wasn't taken by surprise. Keep in mind, his shields could withstand the vacuum of space and hold up lava and all that stuff. So I was already braced for the attack, but that was almost more than I can handle. He's down, troops, and Wolverine's going to make sure he stays that way. No, Wolverine, you can't reach him before he recovers. You know the plan. Either follow it, and my orders, or back off. Yeah, boss man. Now get the hell out of my head. So here's Wolverine. Wolverine, I just have to laugh. Wolverine is going to run up and end Magneto. No, we can't defeat him that way. We must defeat him this way. What you think? What are you thinking about, Cyclops? You know. Now, am I wrong? It's just like, just take out Magneto. You're in literally the bottom of the world. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. This is consequence-free murder place. You know what I mean? If you can't commit murder at the bottom of an active volcano in Antarctica, where can you commit murder? So just take him out, Wolverine. Just go ahead. No, we can't. We got to stick to the plan. So Cyclops catches the anger behind Wolverine's parting thought as he ignores it as Phoenix reaches and telepathically links the X-Men's mind. So now we got Jean Grey in the background, and she's doing a rapport with all the X-Men. So we got Banshee, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Beast, Storm, Wolverine. What a great lineup. This is just the greatest lineup. Cyclops calls the shots. Cyclops calls the shots. His orders instinctively transmitted over the mind link, and they know. Cyclops wants me to draw all the humidity out of the air around Magneto. But the strain of starting work over again with this second lockpick, then freeing the others, left me so weak I could barely stand. So I didn't know if I could do it. So that's how they got out. She used the second lockpick. Where'd she get it from? Don't ask. You know, I don't know if I could do it. Fools, you've given me time to regain my strength. That's what you think, Maggie darling. And I like this. Chris Claremont heard my nitpick through the time, through my magic telepathy chrono oak skills, and he stopped putting word balloons around Banshee and gave him thought balloons because he's screaming. He can't talk, but he can think. So he's hitting them with Sonic Blast. Wolverine, go. He's all yours. You're all heart, bub. This time, though, I ain't mucking around with no cape. This time, I tag the man. So, nitpick time here. What is the difference? What realistically happened? What strategically changed? What tactically changed from Wolverine stabbing Magneto when he was on the ground to Wolverine stabbing him over here? Okay, so look. Wolverine's going to go in and stab Magneto. No. He sets up a link. Storm's pulling out the humidity. Okay, Storm's pulling out the humidity, and then Banshee's tiring him out. Now he stabs him. I guess that's it. Okay, I stand corrected. I see what Cyclops is doing here. Animal, when this battle's done, you'll pay for this. So he actually gets through. Magneto's back is bleeding. Who says you're going to win? So Jean Grey does what Jean Grey. Phoenix caught me off balance. Nothing like she used to be. Almost wilder, almost barbaric. She enjoys using her power as much as Wolverine loves using his claws. My personal shield is holding, but the force bolt's throwing me across the hangar into this control panel. It's a good thing he explained all that. So Jean Grey pops out, hits him with the telekinetic blast, and smashes him into a control panel. Boom! A lot of words. You know, did he need to say all those words? I don't know. Should he have listened? Maybe Mike Baron is right in this particular instance that a little more succinct would be better. I think so. It's the middle of a fight. This guy just got stabbed in the back. He's getting hard to breathe because there's no humidity in the air. And, so he's drying out. And now he's getting blasted into a control panel. Yawn just snuck up on me. What do we get? No one was really at odds with Shooter at the time. He let these guys basically do what they wanted. Same with Miller and Simonson. Anyone who felt could do good comics. Okay. I just assumed he was fighting with everybody. Cyclops. Sales talked, but that was after a time. Not day one. Sales and licensing potential. The creators didn't get angry at Shooter till the end, and a lot of negative things came from over Shooter's head. Yeah. No Wolverine. All the characters have to be featured doing something. Yeah, don't end the fight now. Everybody's got to do some cool thing. Such Claremont thought balloons. I know. And now we got the letters page. We got Jane C. Hollingsworth and Verde. What does that mean? Green. We got ads for Pizzazz. I get 6 titles for the price of 5. That's cool. I mean, subscribe to 6 comics, but only pay for 5. That's 12 free issues of comics. That's not bad. That's a great deal. Wish they still had it. So Magneto over here is saying, let's get this. Oh, I want to point this out. Look at the boot. Colossus's boot is red. On the cover, his boot is yellow. Little coloring mistake. So Magneto is sweating. He's sweating to the oldies over here. They're using hit and run strategy, it's giving me no opportunity to strike back. Lord, it's not all of a sudden I'm sweating like a pig. Is this part of their plan? You face the other X-Men villain. Now it's my turn. So remember, Storm is just manipulating the air around him. She's just focusing a pocket of like, just get rid of all the moisture. It's getting harder and harder for him to breathe. I love that. So she's doing something vitally important. Not only did she free the X-Men, but she's making it difficult for Magneto to breathe. But it doesn't look cool. But I just love that. I just love the teamwork. I love the teamwork in comics when they do it. You face the other X-Men villain. Now it's my turn. Colossus, simpleton. You're the one mutant they should never. Ow! Twice you've used me as a weapon against my friends. It will not happen again. I must not allow him even a moment to peace, or his magnetic powers will give him absolute control over my armored form. I must keep hammering at him until he drops. So this is interesting. This is Colossus and Magneto going punch for punch. Does that mean Magneto has super strength? No, I think he's using his magnetics to bolster his strength the way the Patriarch uses his telekinesis to bolster his strength, to give the false impression of invulnerability and super strength. Peter, Colossus, of all the stupid stunts, I told you to stay on the sidelines in human form. Why the blazes didn't you listen? At least he's holding his own. That's so. Who would have thought? Wolverine. So yes, so he punches him in the face. Now they're going, look at that panel. Tell me that's not a great panel right there. That is just awesome. The green explosion lines, that is just awesome. Now it's really funny. It's Wolverine is listening and following the plan. Colossus is going off point. Colossus is going off script. Nightcrawler, give Colossus a hand. We're way ahead of you, Cyclops. And I love this. Jean Grey is doing, Phoenix is just setting up this psychic switchboard. So he's just giving everybody orders. And then Beast just grabs him by the tail. There must be a better. And then what's he do? He spins Nightcrawler around. So Nightcrawler's got all of this velocity, all this momentum, and he throws him and he teleports. So when he reappears, he's got, I'm not showing it. So Beast is amping up the momentum on Nightcrawler, and then he throws him. So Nightcrawler is propelled with this velocity. He teleports. Now remember, he can't cancel the velocity. So when he teleports here, he's still moving at the same speed. And boom, he grabs his helmet off. Excellent. Wahoo! I got his helmet, Colossus. Put him down for the count. Comrade, it'll be my pleasure. So Nightcrawler's got the helmet, and Colossus is just punching him in the face. Umgabach! Whatever that unpronounceable German word is. That punch would have taken a normal man's head off yet. Magneto's still on his feet. Cyclops was right. We keep Magneto occupied in hit-and-run tactics while Storm subtly dehydrates. What is Molten Rock? What's he doing? I mean, God. Cyclops, all of you. The roof is coming down. Villain, what have you done? You're doomed. If we're doomed, X-Men, the fault is yours. Phoenix Blast destroyed the main control console systems all over the complex are running wild, and you can't do a thing to stop them. So they're defeating Magneto, but in the process of defeating Magneto, they've ruined the controls that keep the lava at bay. So remember, this base uses the magnetic shields, the magnetic field of the Earth to keep the lava from crushing the base. So, Jean Grey just threw Magneto into the control panel. Everything shut down. The lava now is no longer being repelled. So the X-Men, they done messed up Aaron. 6 for 5, 6 for 5. I don't get that. That's cheating. He's being magnanimous. Good one. I like that. Dwarf tossing Nightcrawler. Uglaupish. Is that how you pronounce it? Uglaupish. Yeah, okay, that looks right. Let's turn the page. My tension just increased. And now we got, let's bring this mic up, the camera up over here. What do we do now? Cyclops, we're a mile beneath a live volcano. Cyclops, so much for your plan, huh? Hurry up, Cyclops. Your team's depending upon you and they're running out of time. Wait a minute. The answer's right in front of us. Have Magneto take us out the same way he brought us in, inside a magnetic force bubble. How interesting. But I think not. Where Magneto walks, he walks alone. Stop him, somebody. It's our own. Yikes! Much obliged for the save, Irish. But what's the point? Sooner or later, we're going to run out of places to go. So Banshee saves Wolverine from a big sploich of lava. Till then, Shrimp, we're alive, and don't give up. Watch it, Genie. Hank, Jean, Storm, Banshee, help me blast a channel through this lava flow. We got to get out of here. Cyclops, the roof, it's caving in. Magneto, the lava is filling. This complex is filling with lava. It's time I took my leave. I must move fast. When the lava reaches the thermal converters of the base, the complex will do just like Krakoa. And when that happens, I need to be elsewhere. I seriously underestimated the X-Men. Somehow Cyclops got them to fight as a team instead of individuals. Look at Magneto just explaining the plot. They had been rough edges, but truly they were dangerous. Getting to the surface is taking longer than I anticipated. I'm hurt, broken ribs, maybe worse. Must call on the last reserves of my power to make the ultimate effort. So here we go. So Magneto is just taking off. Lava's coming. Everybody's trying to escape. Everybody's dealing with this. He's saving himself. I don't think anyone saw Magneto's face until this issue. Really? He never took his helmet off before? Interesting. Such an interesting monster. We got more ads. Bolton. Look at this. Hulk's fists are as big as his head. So this is in-house news. This is Stan talking to us. And this is cupcakes. Twinkies, cupcakes. Let's pull it back. There we go. Is that better? So Magneto makes it free. Made it. There's sadness in his eyes as the volcano explodes behind him. The work and memories of a lifetime have been stored there. Now they're gone. It is. So remember, he said that there was irretrievable data at that base. So even in death, X-Men, you seek to thwart my plans. I'm alive, but thanks to Colossus, it will be months before I'll be well enough to resume my work. Months during which my plans lie dormant, gathering dust. But I am alive, X-Men. And my one consolation is that when at last I bring my plans to fruition and mankind to its collective knees, you will not be there to interfere. So nothing again. His ultimate plans, he doesn't use the word mutant, he doesn't use the word subjugation, mutant rights, or anything. It's just, I want to control the world. Later on, they could insert and say that it's, for mutant rights or whatever. But as of right now, he's just a raving madman who wants to control the world. For a time, the ice cap is silent, save for the volcano's basso rumbling and the swirling howl of wind, and then boom! So, are you okay, Hank? First singed, but I ain't complaining. I thought we were dead. But you got us to the surface. You saved me. It's the last I could do, old friend. And then she passes out. So, all that effort, it strained her. She's unconscious and her pulse is weak. We got to get her to a doctor. But where do I find one? We're 1 billion miles from nowhere. I'm stuck on foot in Antarctica with a dying girl in my arms in the middle of the night in a blizzard. Come to think of it, I don't feel so well myself. I'll be lucky to go a mile before I drop. In truth, he doesn't last 100 yards. No more strength. Don't understand. Gotta pick up Jean. Go on. My arms are heavy. Come on. Just lay down for a minute. I'll just take a rest. How bad could it be? And ba-bam, he passes out in the snow. And that's the end of this particular issue. And the next issue was the first X-Men comic that I ever read, 114. So they split the team. So Hank McCoy, the Beast, Jean Grey, Phoenix, we know that they escaped. what about the rest of the X-Men? Now, if you've read the X-Men, you know that Thunderbird died. You know, that if you've been around for a long time, that makes you a little bit. I think that increases the tension. You know, could they be dying? I mean, it's not a great seller at this point. It made enough money to go monthly, but it's not a hit yet. They're not protected. Excuse me. They're not protected by sales as of yet. Hey, Oscar's here. Hey, Oscar, how you doing? How's everything? Oscar, for those of you who don't know, Oscar Kranos, my colorist. He's doing he did the wonderful, wonderful color on Mary Sue story. David De La Silva did the colors on the Patriarch story. Oscar did the colors on Mary Sue story. Oh my God. So good. So good. This is Byrne. Yeah, this is Byrne. Dave Cockrum did the corner box, but John Byrne did all the other art. This is Byrne and Austin. To be continued. Yes, yeah. Oscar is the main colorist for all my comics, and he's going to be doing the art on Eddie is Doomed along with Tonic Mold. They're going to be sharing art chores. Eddie, the real world will be drawn by Tonic Mold, and the comic book world will be drawn by Oscar. Can't wait for that. What else is going on? But Oscar's color is so freaking good. So there you go. This is X-Men 113. This was the first X-Men comic that I've seen. Next issue is the first X-Men comic that I bought and read, and then I got a couple of other X-Men around. And we got Heroic Tales 2. Thank you, Marcus. Still available. I got issue 1. I got issue 2. Still available. Hey, Hojo's here. My youngest son is obsessed with Cyclops. He's going to be an odd child, I could tell. Yeah, Cyclops, at this point, Cyclops was my favorite X-Men. I love the leader. I love the guy with the responsibility, the duty, he has to be in control because of his powers. I love that show. It's not until years later where they just ruin him with he abandoned Madeline Pryor. A lot of firsts for John. Yeah. Yep. Everybody's saying hello. Check out The Mythicals by Hojo. He's got 3 issues out. It's a fun comic. Hojo, do you have the campaign for issue 4 set up yet? But you could go to Fund My Comic and get Mythicals 1, 2, and 3. Good comic. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's like the X-Men, but like with mythical, magical. Instead of mutants, they're all monsters and witches. All right, so at this point, I'm done with the comic. I just keep talking while the comments are going. So at this point, I talk about what's going on next. So next Friday, it's clobbering time will be at midnight. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And we're going to take public domain characters. We'll talk about public domain characters. I want to try to see if I can do a theology with Cooper again this week. And I don't think I have any talks scheduled. It's hard to get talks scheduled with this schedule. So let's take a look. Do I have anything? If not, I'll just take the extra time to continue fulfilling. Yeah, I got nothing scheduled. Except for clobbering time. So there you go. That's the channel news. He's almost 5. He already wants a pair of big red tinted sunglasses for Christmas, and I have multiple eBay loose toy figures on the way. That is cool. I'm on a trade collection now, pal. I also have a 12-page mini comic that comes along with it free. Bonus content in the trade too. Quick shield. Nothing wrong with that. Can't wait until the fight with Proteus. Yeah. That's what issue 127, I think. More like the Defenders with monsters. These people shouldn't belong together. There you go. And here you go. Here's the Mythicals trade with the bonus mini comic. Cool. Anybody have anything to say? Anybody want to comment? Anybody have? Well, you guys are thinking and mustering your thoughts. I will take a sip in my Ben Soto comic book mug. You see? There you go. Yeah, it just drives me nuts that Colossus's boots are miscolored on the cover. I mean, is there any? Look at the costumes. This is just some of the best costume designs. I just love all of these costume designs. So good. All right, I guess this is it. I guess this is the point. Oh, I got nothing. Yeah, I guess this is the point where I say goodbye, kids.